Okay, so this is a national hive of the sort that we're recommending you start with. It's in pieces at the moment, and I'm going to rebuild it and show you the various functions of the bits and pieces. So to start off with, we have just the stand. Just should be reasonably firm, and that incorporates a lighting board. And then this is the floor, and as you can see, it's ventilated, has a mesh bottom. Bees can't get through that, and that sits just there, and this actually forms the entrance, which can be reduced and is normally reduced with something like that. So the bees come in and out through here. The idea of the mesh is it does give some ventilation to the hive, but also it allows one to count varroa, which is a problem we'll talk about at some point. But what you can do is put that board in, leave the bees for 2 or 3 days, and then take that board out and count dead varroa on that tray, which gives an idea of how bad the problem is. But normally we'd run it like that. So that's the floor and the entrance, and then the other boxes on top are just 4-sided boxes. And on top of the floor, we would have the brood box. Now this is the difference between this one and what we would recommend. This brood box has frames which are that size. The one we recommend would have frames which are a little bit bigger. These are 14 inches by 8.5, and the ones we would recommend are 14 by 12. So under normal circumstances, essentially your brood box would be that big. That would be about right. On top of that, we place a queen excluder. Now the queen excluder this is a framed one. There's a gap on the bottom here, which is important. That is what's called a bee space. That goes bottom down on top of there. The queen, being a little bit bigger than the workers, is unable to get through that, and is therefore restrained inside the bottom box where she lays eggs. She can't come up into this box, which contains frames where the honey is stored. So this is called a super, and the frames in here are so big. When they're full, one of those gets quite heavy. So when they're filling one of these, you can put another one on, and another one, and another one. Whatever the number, you top it off with a lid, an inner lid. This one has obviously a perspex cover, but they use typically wood, with a hole in the middle where you can do feeding and goodness knows what. So that's that, and then it's all topped off with a weather protecting roof, and there we are. So that's the hive that we're recommending that you start with, the 14 by 12 brood box, and then queen excluder, super, roof.